Hey everybody, back Mr. Herman again with another video. This one's going to be on finding the surface area of pyramids. We have 4 examples. These are a little bit tricky because there are, in our class at least, we'll deal with 3 different types of pyramids: rectangular base, square base, and triangular base. They are not as straightforward again as that first day, but we are going to be doing something that is kind of straightforward, and that is simply looking at what the base looks like and starting with that. So let's start with the base in each case and then go from there. So let's kind of zoom in on this first one right over here. So in this one here, we've got this, what looks like a rectangular base. Again, pyramids are named by their base. Whatever is directly below the apex, this is called the apex up here. It's that pointy part at the top. Whatever's directly below that is the base. So in this case, this is a rectangular base for this one. So to find a rectangular base, you just take the rectangular sides and multiply them by each other. So 6 by 12. So the first part's going to be 6 by 12. That's going to give us the rectangular base area. Now, we have to figure out how many sides we have, and of each kind, what each kind is. If you look here, we can see that this is 6. Well, this is also 6 over here. And if this is 12, that's 12 back there. Which means there are 2 triangles of each size. 2 that have a 6 bottom and 2 that have a 12 bottom. You can't see them all, but they're all there. So let's start with a 2 times a half to start off, because there's 2 that have 6 and 2 that have 12. So the 2 times 6 ones are going to be, what is the 6? 6 by 10.8. So 6 times 10.8. And then the next one's going to be 12 times 9.5. All right, let's get the calculator in there. And again, remember, we do not need to do the 2 times a half. You can skip that because 2 times a half equals 1. So let's just do 6 times 10.8. That's going to be 64.8. And then we've got 12 times 9.5 is 114. Now we get them all together. And again, don't forget this guy. Easy to do. People always forget that one. So let's go ahead and add in the 114 plus 64.8 plus 72. That'll give me the full amount. I get 250.8. And that's going to be centimeters squared. Again, we had to find the bottom first, which is right here, and then the 4 sides, the 4 what are called lateral areas. I didn't call them that, but that's what they're called, lateral areas. Let's try this next one. This one's actually easier because it's a square pyramid. Should have done it first probably for an example, but I didn't, so let's do it now. The square pyramid is a little bit easier because you've got a square on the bottom. So the bottom square, that's the base, and then you have 4 sides because there's 4 sides of a square, right? That's 4 triangles, and they're all the same, which is kind of nice. So we've got, first start with 8 by 8. That's going to be the bottom. So the bottom is a square, and it's 64 inches squared. Now we got to do the triangles. Well, we said last time we had 2 different ones. This time we have only 1 triangle, 1 kind of triangle. So therefore, we're just going to say 4 of them. They're all the same. 4 triangles, but it's still 1/2 times base times height. The base is 8. The height is 9.8. So 8 times 9.8. You can see why I don't want you just to skip the whole part about, 2 times a half, 4 times, because now 4 times a half is not 1 anymore, that's 2. So you got to make sure you include that part. So we're going to do 4 times a half times 8 times 9.8. And I get 156.8. And again, don't forget to add this guy in. Get them both in there. So plus 64. So I have a total surface area of 220.8. And that's just, this time is in inches squared. So we've got our square pyramid. We've got our rectangular pyramid. Now we're going to focus on the triangular pyramid, also known as the tetrahedron. The triangular pyramid is a little more tricky because there's so many sides it shows you, but it isn't that bad. Think about it. First of all, the base is the bottom. It's a triangle. So the triangle is going to be 1/2 the base times the height. The base and height are right here. See, I'm making a 90-degree angle, so 10 times 8.7. So that's going to be 1/2, 10 times 8.7. So I think that's 43. Let's just double check. 43.5 maybe. 1/2 times 10 times 8.7. 43.5. So 43.5. That's the bottom. Now it has 3 sides to the bottom, which means there's 3 triangles around it. So we're going to do 3 times 1/2. Again, see how now it's not just the 1 times 1/2 again? It's very careful. You can be very careful you pick the right number of triangles that surround it for the lateral area. So we got a base, and then the lateral area is 3 triangles. They're all the same, and it's going to be 10 times 8.5 for that. So 3 times 1/2 times 10 times 8.5. So 3 times 1/2 times 10 times 8.5. 127.5. Again, I strongly suggest that you watch this and work it out with me. Don't just jump into the homework and get confused and be like, I don't get it. You're going to have to watch this. Some of you are going to have to watch this 2 or 3 times to get this. This is not an easy skill. I understand that. So just keep that in mind as you're working through this. Don't just jump to the I can't do it. I know I'm not there to help you, but you can ask me questions over the email, and I'll do my best to help you. That's 171 even. And that's going to be yards squared. All right, one last one. What kind is this? What's the base? It's a triangle. So we have a triangular pyramid, which means the first part's going to be, the bottom is 1/2 times the base times the height. The base I see is 7 times 6.1. That's the bottom. So 7 times 6.1. So 0.5 times 7 times 6.1. 21.35. All right, that's the bottom. Now we have how many sides? Well, the triangular base has 3 sides. So we have 3 sides, and they all have the same bottom. See? 7, 7, and 7. Kind of like a square would have, right? And then, so we have that part, which is going to be 3 times 1/2, just like the last one we just did over there, right? 3 times 1/2, and then the base looks like it is 7 times 5.4. So 7 times 5.4. So we got 3 times 1/2 times 7 times 5.4. 56.7 I get. Now I can add those two together. So we get 56.7 plus 21.35. That's 78.05. And that's in centimeters squared. Again, I know this is not easy, this one. Yesterday's wasn't either, but give them a try. Try to follow what I'm doing, and then ask me questions if you don't understand something. Have a great day, guys. We'll hopefully see you soon. Bye-bye.